You did not come to this message by accident. In the quiet between your breaths, God leans in and speaks, softly, deliberately, calling you out of nights filled with worry and into a season of provision. He has watched the hours you spent awake, the unseen labor you carried alone, the brave choices you made when no one else was watching. Every small sacrifice has been noticed. Every whispered prayer has been received. Right now, there is a gentle shifting in the unseen. It is not a sudden, chaotic burst, but a slow, holy unfolding. Doors that felt permanently closed begin to loosen. Resources you never expected appear in time, and ideas you thought were only seeds in your mind start to flare with possibility. This is more than money arriving. This is freedom to breathe without fear, permission to plan without panic, the wide, steady calm of abundance replacing the tightness of scarcity. God is arranging people, places, and opportunities in the invisible before you ever see them on the outside. But this movement asks for something from you: attention and active faith. Receive this whisper with reverence. Quiet the small, anxious voices that urge you to prove, to push, to panic. Those delays you once mourned were not denials, they were refinements. What felt like waiting was preparing you to steward a greater release. So listen, breathe, position your heart to accept what is being given. Meet this season with gratitude and openness, not with suspicion. When God moves, He asks us to step, not into recklessness, but into faithful response, a new trust, a renewed generosity, a willingness to believe that blessing will be accompanied by responsibility and wisdom. Curious to know what the first step looks like for you? Pause and reflect. What part of your financial story is ready to be rewritten if you simply say yes? Share your thoughts below, one sentence, one honest word. Then, come with me to the next video where we will unpack practical ways to position yourself for what God is releasing. You are being invited into a sacred stillness. In the hush between heartbeats, God is rearranging what has felt impossible. He is not shouting from a distance. He is leaning close, speaking in a slow, holy whisper that asks you to pause, to breathe, to recognize that every sleepless night was seen and every quiet sacrifice cataloged. This is the moment the invisible becomes intentional. Listen as if your life depends on it, because in a way, it does. What you have called delay has been a season of refinement. Your patience was not wasted, it was preparation. The constraints that tightened around your plans were purposeful shaping. Now the hands that shaped you begin to open the places they formed. Doors you believed were sealed begin to give way. People, ideas, and timely resources will align in ways that feel supernatural, not merely coincidental. You are asked to move with attentive faith. This is not frantic striving. It is not chasing after noise. It is simple things done with holy expectation. A prayer that keeps returning to the same promise, a quiet obedience to the next small step, a refusal to speak defeat when hope knocks. Stewardship matters. How you manage the little things now positions you for the much God is releasing. Receive with gratitude. Resist the old voice that counts odds instead of blessings. Imagine a river arranging its stones beneath a moonlit sky. You cannot see the course yet, but you feel the current guiding your feet. So step slowly. Trust the timing. Let peace settle where worry once lived. As God moves, do not clutch. Open your hands. As He speaks, do not rush. Listen. And when the first sign appears, an unexpected call, an idea that sparks, you will know it is the beginning, not the end. Curiosity. What single line from this whisper is tugging at your heart right now? Comment below with that thought, brief and honest. In the next video, we will explore the practical posture you take today to align with the abundance God is releasing. You are standing on the edge of something ordained, and you feel it as a gentle pressure on your chest, a holy whisper that grows firmer the more you listen. This is not a hurried promise, but a measured movement. God arranging the invisible pieces, aligning people, opening doors you thought forever closed. He has watched the nights you paced, the plans you folded away, the courage you wrapped in silence. Now He is preparing a season where provision looks different. Not only money arriving, but the calm to plan, the courage to risk wisely, the breath to live without the constant dread of scarcity. Watch for the subtle signs. A conversation that suddenly shifts from small talk to opportunity, an idea that won't leave your mind, a check that comes unexpectedly. These are the ways the unseen begins to shape the visible. But this unfolding asks for your participation. Attention is faith's companion. Notice the nudges, write down the next right step, and take it even if it feels modest. Steward what you already hold: time, talent, relationships, with grateful, orderly care. Speak truth over your situation. Declare that lack is not your final sentence, and refuse the familiar scripts of fear. You were refined by the delays. They were not punishment, but preparation. What you learned in the quiet, patience, discernment, restraint, will now serve you as keys to doors you couldn't open before. Courage will look like small, consistent acts: returning a call, saying yes to mentorship, adjusting a budget to reflect your values. Expect a season of synchrony where resources meet readiness. The miracle may look ordinary at first, then unmistakable. Hold this with reverence, but also with expectancy. Resist the temptation to measure the change by yesterday's standards. Instead, move forward with eyes alert to God's rearranging and hands ready to work with what He provides. Curiosity: what small next step do you sense God asking you to take right now? Comment below with one honest sentence. Begin with "I will." Then join the next video, where we'll unpack how to steward and protect the blessing He is releasing into your life. You did not wander into this message by accident. There is a quiet, deliberate breath behind these words. God leaning in to speak directly to you, calling you out of long nights of worry and into a season of provision that feels both gentle and holy. You who have carried unseen burdens, who have made brave decisions in the dark, are being recognized. What comes now is not merely money. It is the widening of your capacity to breathe without fear, to plan with peace, to live beyond the smallness of scarcity. Listen slowly. In the invisible places, God is rearranging people, aligning doors, and lighting matchsticks of idea and opportunity inside your mind. The sudden openings you will soon notice are the fruit of a process that looked like delay but was actually refining, softening stubborn edges, sharpening your readiness, and clearing space for what is coming. Your past sleepless hours were not wasted. They were the refining fire that prepared you to steward what is about to be released. This movement requires attention, not a frantic grasping, but a patient, active faith. Begin to position yourself. Receive the whisper. Resist the familiar voice of doubt. Take small, obedient steps when you feel nudged: an honest conversation, a humble act of generosity, a disciplined change in how you manage what you already have. These small movements say to heaven, "I am ready." They align your life with the provision God intends to give. Hold this moment with reverence. Expect unexpected resources to show up in quiet ways. People who open doors, ideas that turn into income, opportunities that begin as conversation. And as you wait, let gratitude soften the space where fear once lived. Curiosity will awaken you to God's next move. If this touched you, pause and share. What one door do you sense God preparing for you? Leave that reflective comment below. Be curious about what God is arranging. In the next video, we'll explore the first practical step to take when a door begins to open, how to recognize it and move through it with faith. There is a sacred hush around what you've been carrying. Breathe slowly now. Feel the weight ease by the sheer act of attention. God is not rushing. He is tenderly rearranging the unseen pieces of your life. What felt like delay was not denial. It was a quiet preparation, a refining that sharpened your faith and clarified your heart. You are standing on the edge of movement you cannot yet see, but you will sense it first as a calm, an inner permission to hope. Notice how thoughts that used to pull you into fear now pass like clouds. You did not fight every battle alone. Every sleepless night, every prudent choice, every small surrender has been witnessed and recorded. Divine provision has been on a slow march toward you, aligning people, timing, and opportunity in ways ordinary eyes cannot track. In your finances, that means doors will begin to open you thought were closed. Invitations, partnerships, sudden clarity about next steps. It will feel like an aligning, one gentle nudge after another, until one day you wake and the scarcity narrative no longer fits. But this movement asks you to participate, not with frantic striving, but with alert, obedient faith. Listen for the soft nudges, those instincts that feel like peace, and walk toward them. Resist the small, loud voice of doubt that measures blessing by yesterday's outcomes. Receive each shift with gratitude and steward the first small increases wisely. They are the proof of a larger river beginning to flow. This season is sacred. It is both promise and practice, a time to expect and a time to prepare your heart to steward what comes. Stay attentive. Move gently. Trust that what you could not force, God is now orchestrating. Curiosity. Where in your life did you first sense this gentle shift? Share one quiet hope you are holding. Leave it in the comments. Reflect on it, and then join me in the next video where we will uncover the first practical steps to receive and steward this new abundance. You are standing at the edge of something gentle and enormous. It does not announce itself with trumpets. It comes like a slow, holy whisper that moves through the rooms of your life, settling every restless thought about money, laying a hand on your plans, and inviting you into a new way of breathing. You feel it first as relief, a loosening around your chest where worry used to be. Then, as clarity, ideas begin to stir, people you need appear in memory or in doorways, and resources arrive in ways you did not imagine. God has been working in the invisible. He has been arranging the unseen, conversations, timing, opportunities, so that when you step forward in faith, the path will be prepared. This is not about a sudden windfall alone. It is about freedom, the freedom to make decisions without panic, the freedom to invest in what you love, the freedom to be generous without counting costs. The refining season you endured was not punishment. It was training. Each sleepless night, each small sacrifice, honed you to steward a greater provision. Now he asks attention. Quiet your mind. Turn your heart to what is true. Resist the familiar voice of doubt that speaks in probability and past pain. Active faith is not passive waiting. It is doing the next right thing with the expectation that God is already doing a greater thing behind the scenes. Take the small steps you can see. Write the one idea you keep returning to. Reach out to the person you've hesitated to call. Open the door you thought was closed. Notice how doors begin to respond. If this stirs something inside you, lean into that stir. Curiosity is the gentle nudge of the Spirit. Share a short comment below. What one area of your finances are you willing to hand over to God today? Your words may spark faith in someone else. When you're ready to move, watch the next video. It will show practical ways to position yourself to receive what God is releasing now. You did not stumble onto these words by accident. There is a slow, holy whisper moving through the corners of your life right now, and you are being summoned out of the long nights of worry into a season of provision. Feel the hush. It is soft but certain, as if God is arranging the unseen pieces of your story, aligning people, opening paths, and igniting ideas inside you before a single door ever cracks open. Remember every sleepless hour, every effort no one noticed, every brave decision you made alone. None of it was wasted. It has been refining you, steadying your hands, clarifying your heart, so that when the supply comes, you will be ready to steward it differently. This release God is unleashing is not only about money. It is the return of your breath, the permission to plan without a knot in your chest, the ability to give without counting costs, the courage to say yes to life again. You are asked to pay attention. Do not let doubt speak louder than this whisper. Quiet the noise that tells you this is delayed, and listen for the ways the invisible is moving first. Small nudges, a phone call, a new connection, an idea that will not leave you. These are the hints of a divine choreography. Respond with active faith. Take one intentional step today, however small, and trust that God is multiplying it. As this promise unfolds, watch for doors you once thought closed to swing wide, for resources to arrive from surprising directions, and for opportunities that feel too good to be true to feel suddenly natural. This is a season of enlargement. Receive it with reverence and courage. Curious which door might be opening for you next? Pause and leave a brief, reflective comment below, one sentence about what you sense God is asking you to do, and hold that word close. In the next video, we will name the first practical patterns God uses to bring provision, and you will learn the step to take when opportunity whispers your name. You did not wander here by accident. This is a gentle, holy nudge toward what has been quietly forming for you. In the soft hush of prayer and the stillness between your breaths, God is rearranging the unseen, aligning resources, opening doors you thought permanently shut, and planting ideas that will light up like torches in the night. Feel that? It is permission to breathe, permission to plan without the weight of fear, permission to expect more than merely getting by. Every sleepless hour you carried, every brave decision you made alone, was noticed. Those moments were not wasted. They were the soil being tilled. What felt like delay was not denial but preparation. You were being refined, calibrated for a season of abundance that looks different than simply more money. It is freedom to live, to love, and to steward well. The provision coming is practical and supernatural, arriving through people, unexpected opportunities, and sudden wisdom that will steer your steps. This movement asks something of you. It asks that you shift from passive waiting to active expectancy. Hold your gaze on the promise instead of on the problem. Speak gratitude before the visible evidence arrives. Choose trust when doubt whispers louder. Attention matters. Your posture toward this promise will determine how fully you receive it. Resist the old narratives that keep you small. Say no to fear. Say yes to obedience, even in small things. Let your heart be still long enough to hear the next instruction. There is a quiet strategy being revealed to you now, a next step that will require steady faith and simple action. Position yourself, prepare your hands, and open your mouth to bless as much as you ask to be blessed. Curious what God might be arranging specifically for you? Leave a reflective comment below, sharing one small change you're willing to make to meet this promise. In the next video, we will walk through the first practical step to position yourself to receive what God is releasing. This is your quiet moment of arrival. Breathe slowly and let each inhale remind you that you were never alone in those long nights. God saw your steady, often unseen steps, the choices you made with trembling courage. What felt like delay was not denial. It was preparation, a gentle remaking. Now, in a season that seems to move with the hush of something holy, those locked doors begin to loosen, and pathways you hadn't dared to imagine start to appear in the periphery. You will sense resources aligning in ways that do not shout, but whisper. A conversation at the right time, an idea sparked by a restless midnight, an unexpected opening that fits like a key you weren't sure you still had. This is not merely about money arriving. It's about being given the freedom to plan again, the ability to breathe without the knot of fear, the capacity to steward abundance without scrambling. God is reordering the unseen. People, timing, courage, so that your financial story can be rewritten with grace. Hold attention like a sacred posture. Faith is not passive here. It is the quiet readiness to step when the door cracks open. Resist the old voice of doubt that tries to keep you small. Receive this as a deliberate, holy invitation to move from scarcity into provision. Let your hope be measured by the relentless tenderness of promise, not by the scarcity memory that has lived in your bones. There is more unfolding than you can chart, and that is exactly why you should stay alert. Curiosity is the first act of faith. Allow it to pull you forward. Pause now and reflect. What part of your heart has been refined in the waiting? Share that insight below. Leave a short comment about what you're ready to receive. When you're ready, watch the next video to learn how to position yourself practically and spiritually for the breakthrough that is being released to you now.